Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 29 of our favorite show, Hooked on Sonics. I'm Bruce. That's Tony.
Good
Tony, how are
evening.
you?
I am
Good
great.
evening.
I am absolutely great. Good evening.
M- Me too, my friend. Me too. We're going to have some fun tonight. Um, Libations are kicking. We got some
Sweet,
good albums.
sweet, sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, we will
Oh,
listen to
boy.
this week. Oh, dude, I've had a day, man. I'm not even going to blow smoke. I I love my job. Don't get me wrong, but there are just some days that I'm just like, I wake up and I go, I just really don't want to deal with this today. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like
Eh.
I'd rather just shoot the show all day with you.
There you go. And listen to Norwegian black metal all day.
And listen to Norwegian black
And just watch my head explode.
metal.
So I got a really neat surprise. I found out that you've probably never heard of this group, but they're a pretty cool group. They've been around for a while, called the Legendary Shack Shakers.
I've heard of
Um,
them.
yeah, they're actually coming to town on Friday, so I was listening to a bunch of their different albums and stuff, and um, so that's been pretty fun. Very they're they're all over the place, and I like it.
Good, good.
Yeah,
So you been jamming lately?
yep, that's what I've
Yeah,
been jamming to
good.
lately. Um, I don't know if anyone's seen on our Facebook page, but I met the guitarist for the Patti Smith group, who either you know her or you don't. But I was trying to listen to some of that stuff just to get familiar with more what he's into and stuff. And yeah, I appreciate her legacy in the music industry and what her cult following. But what I heard just wasn't for me. But
Well, I think her big hit
it,
was because of the night, dude. And I think that, and if you weigh it down, it was a good song.
yeah,
I mean, let's be honest. I
yeah,
think that was her big hit, and it was a good song. Am I familiar with anything more than that? Probably not.
yeah,
No
yeah.
disrespect,
But
but it's just something that wasn't on my radar.
no, absolutely. So he ended up writing a book called Lightning Striking, the 10 transformative moments in rock and roll. He was really, really cool. Played a few songs, read a few excerpts from his book. Um, very generous with his time. Um, super cool guy. Super cool guy. Um, he actually he released an album, like a compilation album back in the day, 50 years ago, called Nuggets, or 40 years ago, called Nuggets, and it did a deep dive into the early days of psychedelic rock.
Nice.
Yeah, so like bands like the Foxgloves and things like this, where you're like, whoa, this is like old school trippy stuff. Um, so they just came out with an expanded edition of that. Um, so if you're ever on Spotify or YouTube, just check out Nuggets and just listen to some old psychedelic stuff.
So, that's a funny word, right? Things, terms in the music industry get tossed around a lot. And you got guys that are like, if it's good metal, it's good metal. They don't care
Mhm.
what genre of metal it is, because there's so many, there's new metal, hair metal, Norwegian black metal, punk metal, crossover thrash metal, whatever. There's so many variations of what it is, right? And it's crazy because you don't see that as prevalent in other styles of music. You can't always say, well, this is metal country. No, because probably if it's metal and it's country, it's probably southern metal, you know,
Yeah.
kind of like what I feel about the album that you gave me last week,
Which is Artemis Pyledriver.
Artemis Pyledriver,
Uh-huh.
self-titled album.
That's
So we'll
right.
be discussing that here shortly. But I
Hmm.
feel like a lot of times the term of a genre gets tossed around so loosely. What really defines or makes it that genre, right? So when we talk about, and it's just the easiest for me to do this, is Doom for me, slow, sludgy, down-tuned, heavy, thick riffs. It's all about the riff. Um, drums are a very close second in nature, but it's the riff, right? And then the lyrics are just sprinkles on top if it's good, cool and creepy, right?
Yeah.
But what makes psychedelic? Is it the fact that you have to be on psychedelics to enjoy them, or is it because they use psychedelic style sounds like phasers and flangers and shit like that? I don't know what,
Reverb. Yeah.
yeah, reverb and stuff like that. What makes psychedelic? So I will say this: most of what I've heard referenced as psychedelic, I enjoy. Okay, um, one of my bands that I would consider psychedelic that I really enjoy, and you may be familiar with them, you may not be, is Uriah Heep.
Oh yeah.
Great albums from those dudes. Demons and Wizards is probably their most noted, but
Yeah. The second one. Yeah. Magician's Birthday. I believe I've
Magician's
got that.
Birthday is one that I hold very sacred in my heart because it was the first Uriah Heep album that my dad passed on to me, and I was just like, "What is this magical, wonderful
Mm.
album?" I've never heard nothing like this before,
Yeah.
and it wasn't always like that when Dad would pass stuff on down on to me, But Uriah
Hmm.
Heep definitely is one of those bands, and I'll tell you who's another big fan of Uriah Heep. Um, Beyond Neptune's bass player and singer, uh, Greg.
Sweet.
Yeah, I don't know if Chuck is as big as Greg is, but me and Greg have discussed some Uriah Heep stuff. Just
Yeah.
because those two albums right there, I'd put them up against almost any album any day, dude. Demons and Wizards and fucking
Yeah.
Magician's Birthday.
Yeah. Keep talking. I'll be right back. I'm just going right over here. And now I got
Cool.
to double check to see if I've got that daggone thing. That's sure going to drive me nuts.
You're going to listen to that in the next few days. You know that?
Oh, I know it. And I know I've had it at one point. T
You know what one of my favorite songs is on that album? Probably is my favorite song on the album is Rain.
huh. I guess I don't have it anymore.
Why would you have gotten
Huh.
rid of it?
I don't know, man.
Which album
Hold
had
on.
Easy Living on?
I really don't remember. And honestly, it's going to sound horrible, but I don't know if I ever actually listened to the album.
What?
I just had it.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't have it anymore. Shame on me.
well then I'm gonna have to give you a Uriah Heep album sometime. Are you
I'll
familiar with
just,
both of those albums?
yeah, like I said, I know I had Magician's Birthday, but I don't know what the hell I did with it.
Yeah,
Hmm,
I used to own Magician's Birthday on cassette.
that's funny.
Dude, I had a lot of cassettes. If you ever had to ask me my collections and how big they were, because we've all bought shit, right?
Oh, yeah.
My cassette collection was ridiculous. My
Yeah,
CD collection was unrivaled. I knew nobody that had CD collection like me at all.
that's because you didn't come over to my house.
Dude, I had books
Yeah.
of
Hmm.
CDs, and several had gotten stolen. So when the digital wave of downloading music and having it all compressed into a smaller area came along, I fell in love with it. I don't have a lot of room to have a ton of albums or cassettes and CDs laying around. Now I do have some laying around that I pick up at shows, maybe get them signed, but other than that, I don't really keep a lot of stuff, man. I
Yeah.
think the most expensive one that I have is my Sleep uh, Dope Smoker re-release from Third Man that I ordered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, you got a really valuable one somewhere. It's a soundboard recording of an Ace Frehley show I went to that I let you
Yeah,
borrow.
yeah, yeah. The one that you'll never shut up about because life happens.
That was
Hey,
disc
dude, hey,
one.
listen. It could be anywhere. Listen,
It ain't here. I know that.
if all this stuff wasn't sitting on top of it, I'd show you books of CDs, dude. Books from where I just stored information, dude.
Yeah.
Programs and pictures and years and years and years of information.
Yep.
But yeah. We drinking tonight, man.
I have gone back to an old favorite of mine. Good old the original Captain Morgan and some Coke.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The original OG. Have you had like the private barrel or whatever they have?
Yes, private
That's good.
stock is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had most of their stuff. They just come out with a new one. It's not new, but it's supposed to be like an original formula that they had or something. I almost picked that up and I was like, I'll just hold off. So
Nice.
it's got like an old school drawing on it.
Huh.
Yep.
Cool.
What are you drinking?
Well, let's see what we got in the fridge this evening.
Wow.
Well, holy shit.
We got some pig feet in there. What the hell?
Man, I believe I've seen this can knock somebody out before. Tonight we're rocking with the Twisted Tea, half and half.
Try me. You know,
Seen that internet video?
yes,
That dude,
that
dude, it looks
twisted
like
tea is always gonna.
dude, it looks like it happened at Hague and Sullivan, UDF. I swear
Yeah,
that's where it looks like it happened
yeah.
at, dude. And I don't
That
know exactly where it happened at, but it cracks me up every time, dude.
yeah, it fits. That was the Twisted Tea, the original sponsor of Fuck Around and Find Out.
Amen. But you know what? I don't drink a lot of sugary drinks being diabetic. Every once in a while, I like to have a few of these. I know I shouldn't, but I also like the Arnold Palmer brand of these.
Oh,
I like the Arnold Palmer brand of these better. These are too overly sweet. The Arnold Palmer brand is just like a perfect mix.
I got to
Um,
try those because I love me some Arnold Palmers.
it comes in like a a gray box. They're phenomenal. Like these are super sweet, dude. But those are mixed. Imagine
Imagine if you will.
imagine bourbon and lemonade
Mm,
with tea, like a half and half.
mm, honey hush.
I like them. It's not quite.
Okay, I
It
gotta
doesn't
look
have
for them.
quite that bourbon taste, but they are good. But
Okay.
good stuff.
Oh, on Saturday I had the opportunity to drink a 12-year-old McClellan's.
Nice.
Oh, oh, that
Yeah.
was so good.
So I want to tell you something, man. When you're down there and you want to spend a nice bit of money on a bottle, I'm almost positive you might be able to find because it's pretty fluid up here. Russell's Reserve 10 year.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good 10-year bourbon. You drink scotches at all?
Well, that was that.
The McClellan.
Uh,
The McClellan was a
yeah.
scotch.
Yep.
So I had my guitar player turned me on to, I think, a 12-year. I can't remember the name, but it was like a Viking tribute, and it tasted closer to a bourbon than a Scotch to me. And I
Mm,
said, you know what? I like this. You may just reinvent, because I was stepping out of the Scotch thing altogether. It was not suiting me well. I was finding scotches, too many scotches I didn't like. You know what I mean? But it kind of reinvigorated my belief in checking out more Scotch. So
there you go.
I get the feeling that the way that my drinking goes and the patterns that it goes is I'm going to be 50 in a few years. My palate might be getting ready for Scotch in my later years. But certain good Scotches are expensive as fuck, dude. Like just
Hmm.
right off the rip, and you can find that shit on the shelf all the time. You know what I mean? Because I guess you may have to have a more refined palate for it or something. I just don't like it being overly peaty.
Yeah.
A real
Yeah. That
mossy, peaty
McClellan's,
flavor.
though, that was smooth as all get out.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I've had some great um, scotches, man. I had an older Islay, I think, from Bowmore that was pretty good, but it was peaty. And I guess is regionally Scotch is different tasting, depending on
Okay.
like whether it comes to the Highlands or Islays, or you know what I mean. So I don't know enough about it, but it
Yeah.
may be something I explore later in life. I'm on my
In your free
tequila
time.
journey right now.
There you go.
Yeah, man. So hell
There you
yeah,
go.
sounds like a lot of cool stuff. Just one thing I'd like to mention real quick. Got to see a couple bands this weekend. Um, I showed up, I think, just in time to see Everlasting Godstopper, which is a local band here in Columbus. They got to open up for Doyle and Red Devil Vortex. Um, man, I got something to say about this Red Devil Vortex band, dude. They were cool. Um, they may not be for everybody, but I thought they were pretty fucking cool. And they have three members. All players are doing their jobs very well. Um, no disrespect to the other two guys, but their drummer is freaking insane. Guy was great, one of the best drummers I've ever seen. And I think Mike Niter from Slaves and Scott and I,
Yep.
would tell you the dude was fucking bad, dude. Like I've seen some bad drummers, but whoa, So Red Devil Vortex, yeah, they were really cool. We took some pictures with them. I ain't posted anything yet. Doyle was great. Show was great. Very low attendance though, kind of freaked me out. Picked up a sweet new shirt, obviously. Uh, Logos. But yeah, if you get the chance, go see those guys. I hope that they work on another album, because first two albums have been pretty solid, pretty consistent. And for 50 years old, dude, the front man of Doyle is a madman. I'm
Hmm.
almost 50, and I could never imagine moving the way that guy does on stage. He's a lunatic, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dick Solid, baby.
Better than Trickle.
Yeah, it's all good.
There was a ball player. His name was Dick Trickle.
I remember
Yeah.
Dick Trickle.
Yes, sir. Hey, what do you got going on in the news?
News. You know what? From our friends at Blabbermouth, I had some things pulled up. I saw there was some tour stuff. Give me 1 second. Les Claypool's Fearless Frog Brigade announces hunt for Green October 2023 tour. Um, let's see. Black Dahlia Murder announces September 2023 U.S. tour dates with Chelsea Grin, 200 Stab Wounds, and Gates to Hell. Um, Cult. This is a big one. I'm going to take a look and see what dates are on those, because I am a Cult fan. They announced a fall 2023 U.S. tour, And Skillet and Theory of a Dead Man announce a fall 2023 U.S. tour. Leg of Rock Resurrection tour with Saint Asonia. Ginger announces a September 2023 headlining American tour. Asking Alexandria and The Who announce a co-lining Psycho Thunder U.S. tour. And that is a lot of touring going on, man. There's a lot of bands going on out there. One other thing that I would like to note that I saw these guys many, many years ago. Shadows Fall is going back into the recording process next week. I got to see these guys back on the Sounds of the Underground tour many, 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 many years ago. And I remember they stuck out pretty well. So keep look if you guys are fans of those guys, keep an ear to the ground on that.
Very
But
cool.
other than that, that is news. At least the news I'm sharing with you from our friends over there at blabbermouth.net. Thank you.
Thank you.
and
And now you know the rest of the story.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Fraley, tell us the rest of the story.
So the rest of the story is we're going to go back to 1994. You know, the good old days when you had guys like Slayer, Anthrax, Biohazard, Megadeth, Metallica, all in their peak. And somewhere in the mix here, making their way, was a little old band called Propane. And they came out with this album called The Truth Hurts. What's the one thing I really have a problem with, Tony?
Vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Vocals that you can't understand. I get that.
Specifically, what do I call them?
Cookie Monster vocals, obviously.
Cookie Monster vocals. This album has a lot of what?
Possibly
guaranteed Cookie Monster vocals.
Well,
now,
no, dude. See, here's the thing. To you, that might seem like Cookie Monster style vocals, right? But at the end of the day, it's not. That's New York style hardcore vocal. That dude is grunting it out and fucking singing it. Okay? That is not the same thing as it's not the same thing.
Okay. So, as compared to the other New York style, Biohazard,
that you got to listen to recently.
Yes, sir. Biohazard blows them out of the water. Now, I will say,
I can't say that.
You can't say that?
I can't say that.
Okay, maybe blows them out of the water is too strong. Maybe they are a notch or two above Propane. Musically,
above or below Propane?
Above.
Okay.
Maybe that's a more accurate description. The riffs in here.
Vocally is your problem. Vocal is your major problem with this album.
My major problem with this album.
That's a damn shame.
Evan's a way better vocalist than this dude.
Evan's a more clear vocalist than this dude.
Okay.
This guy has more rasp in his tone than Evan does. Evan has some clean work in his vocal where it's easier to understand him vocally. I understand that, right? Don't get me wrong. I get completely what you're saying. It's easier to listen to Evan than it is to listen to fucking Mike Mescal.
Yes.
Okay? But keep in mind, no Mike, no Propane. Bottom line. He is the reason Propane still exists to this day. And let me explain to you something, brother. They are still putting out fucking great albums. I went back and listened to that album that you listened to a few years ago. And I was just like, man, I really love these dudes. I loved seeing them live. I wish they'd come back. So I did start digging my research. I grabbed everything, dude. I grabbed everything as I continued to hear fucking great song after fucking great song, dude. I'm not gonna tell you their albums are fucking 10s across the board, but they still put out great fucking tunes, dude.
Yeah, what was really cool. There was a bonus track on this album. It was a live version of Bad Blood, recorded in Germany in '99.
Mhm.
It sounded really good. I mean, the lot of energy, great energy live. I mean, and a lot of these riffs on here, again, really good. What I was going through it and I heard "Put the Lights Out," and my old boy, my Ice T was in the
Dude, I
house.
gave that to you with hopes that you would really stick out hearing that, dude, and goes, tell me it wasn't dope, dude.
Oh,
Tell me
dude,
that
that was
track
the
wasn't
high.
fucking dope, dude.
That track was probably the highlight. That was probably my favorite track on there.
Not mine.
This
Not mine. The
this
title
was
track is mine.
this was right around the time where they were playing with body count, and so they just kind of returned the favor, or Ice T did. So I really like that song. Again, make war not love. It's a good intro song. It's a great opener for this album. Um, Bad Blood's really good. Let Sleeping Dogs Lie. Really good song. Really good song. One Man Army was kind of Sabbathy. Little hints, little sprinkles of NIB. Down in the Dumps had a Peace Cells vibe to it. Um, this had all the little elements of that stuff that I liked a lot when I was a kid, 16, 17 years old. Just those vocals for me, which is kind of funny. It Especially if you compare it to that Artemis Pyledriver, those aren't clear vocals,
No.
but it's different. It's different.
And I'm gonna touch base on that too.
Mhm.
So I've got a question for you, if you don't mind me
Yeah,
interceding.
please.
When you listen to these albums, right, and you hear these
Mhm.
vocals that you don't quite agree with, do you ever look up the lyrical content?
No, typically no, because I don't have time. I
I
don't have time.
understand, but
But what I do,
I think if you do, you could benefit from what's really going on.
well, what I do, because I typically listen to an album two or three times, so on my second or third listen, I'm able to pick up more of what they're saying a lot of times. But no, as far as digging up lyrics, typically you don't.
Well, being somebody that sings and loves lyrics, dude, I'm constantly looking up lyrics if they're available. I'm hunting down the lyrics for Fire Breather Sorrow, man. I'm pretty sure I know
Mhm.
the first few lines, but I can't figure out the rest of the fucking song to save my life. You got a hemorrhoid or
Yeah,
something, dude?
shut up. I've got called old manitis.
Right. And it's better than Dicky Doo disease, right?
Dick Trickle. So
No,
yeah, I
man.
mean, what's what? So before I give my review of this, what are some of the things you absolutely love about this album?
I saw them on this tour.
Okay.
I saw them with Skeet's band, and this is funny how this all plays, right? I saw them
Mhm.
with Skeet's band, Apathy. It was Propane, MOD, and Apathy.
Oh
Um,
God, MOD.
yeah, dude, it was one of the most amazing shows. It's one of those things in time that if you weren't there, you fucking missed the fuck out, dude. It was one of
Yeah,
those greatest nights ever, dude. It was just
yeah,
and anybody and everybody was there, you know. Maybe you didn't see it, but I'll tell you, I knew a lot of people from high school showed up to that show, and
yeah,
it was fucking awesome, dude. I couldn't go through the crowd without running two or three motherfuckers.
yeah.
So place was packed. I'll roast a villa. Uh, but I saw them on that tour, dude. I saw them on the Truth Hurts tour, and I became a fan ever since. Um, Mike just has this commanding presence on stage, dude, and he's he writes some really tough stuff, man. And especially if you take into the consideration the lyrics off of Truth Hurts, he's writing about shit that's fucked up and where he's from, up there in New York or whatever, right?
Hmm.
Because I think that's where they're from, New York, Connecticut, or something like that. I
Yep.
can't.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
New York.
but The Truth Hurts is such a phenomenal album and song to me, and it's a motto that I live my life by. If somebody said, Tony, what's your motto? I said, it's truth hurts, because I would rather hurt you with the truth than betray you with a lie. And that's just the type of person I am. I've got friends around me that are doing fucked up shit in their life, and I tell them, hey man, you got to get your shit together, dude. Some people get shitty about shit like that, and I look them dead in the face and go, you know why I'm telling you that? Because I can tell you that. The truth hurts, dude. And I'll have that tattooed across my chest right here before I go
Yeah.
lay to rest, dude. That's my motto. The truth hurts.
Yeah, you should have it tattooed on your forehead. Yankees suck.
Never, never. Judge and Rizzo taking over things right now. Rizzo.
Frank Rizzo. All right, ZZO, tough guy.
Yeah. I love my
Oh,
Yankees,
hey, by
dude.
the way, they are re-releasing those Jerky Boy albums on vinyl.
Get the fuck out of here. Dude,
Pre-order now, baby.
but will they do a digital release?
I,
I would hope they would release it digitally alongside, because a lot of times, dude, these companies are releasing this shit on album, but they won't do a digital release beside it or a
yeah.
CD release beside it. That
Yep.
shit pisses me off, dude. Pisses me off.
All you got to do is invest in the right equipment.
I should have the new Church of Misery album here in about a week.
There you go.
New Bongzilla album sounds great. That's what I've been listening to. I've been listening to that a lot. It's really good. Dab City.
Very cool.
Killer.
There you go.
Dude, I
I'm
love
going to
this
give
album.
this album.
No, just back to the subject. I love the album, dude. It's just a good album. I got to see it. I got to see this pretty much when it was live. No Body Count wasn't there, but the fact that Ice-T was on the album,
Yeah.
dude,
Solid.
it's a solid album, dude.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Yep. So, ultimately, it's a great album, especially if you love Cookie Monster vocals. That's how I classify it. Nice riffs. Voice was worrying to me. But all in all, I give this album a good solid 7.8.
7.8. Where are you coming up with these point decimals that don't make sense? I thought we were doing these quarter increments.
Quarter increments.
So 7.75.
I give it what I want.
All right. That's funny. That is funny.
That's what I do.
Funny. All right. 7.8, huh?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to stay on the quarter system to keep everything straight. This clown over here does obviously whatever he wants to do. I apologize ahead of time for his actions and transgressions. So,
hey, just remember, it's slightly better than 7.75.
right. That's cute. All right. So I had this week Artemis Pyledriver.
Mm-hmm.
Self-titled. And let me start by prefacing this album with I had the same problem with this album that Bruce had with mine. And that's not to be spiteful. It's because I'm listening to this singer and I'm having a hard time understanding everything that he's saying. But the funny thing is, dude, I can't nail down who he sounds like. And usually when I can sit there and go, this guy sounds like so and so and so. So don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say. Because I see you wanting to say something. And I don't want you to say anything. Okay. So
Start sounding like my wife.
I'm a little confused as to what I'm listening to here, because the riffs are great, the music's great. Mm-hmm. This is what I would call borderline Southern swamp rock. It's got a really good feel like that. I don't know that I would classify it as Southern doom or anything like that. It's got more of a Southern swamp rock kind of feel. And the best thing that I can think of vocally, and I'm somewhat on, but I know I'm not completely on. If I had to compare this guy's vocals, it is a rougher, slightly rougher version of Jesse James Dupree from Jackal.
Hmm. Hmm.
He's just got that kind of tone. Okay. There is times that Jesse James Dupree gets really raspy, but imagine that with a little more bass in it. That's what this guy sounds like. Okay. That's the best thing that I could come up with. And I tried so hard to figure out where I kind of recognize that vocal range, style, sound from. The music's good. Undeniably, the music is good. Let me go through these tracks real quick because we had Swamp Devil, great opener, Dixie Fight Song, uh, good song. Ride On, another good song. Dirt Road White Girl, I thought that was pretty cool. Um, it's a pretty groovy, it's a pretty groovy little
Hmm.
track. High Life, I could take it or leave it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Natural
I agree.
Progression really was I don't know. I kind of want to say this was more of the standout track to me, just because you've heard some elements in there that suited the album, but there were some other elements that were slipped in there that was just like, okay, that's cool. Um, Up the Creek,
Up the Creek
Shag,
was really good.
Up the Creek, Shagging Ass, and Get Some. I mean, the album's pretty strong all the way through. I'm not going to
Hmm.
BS. I'm not going to tell you there's horrible songs on this album because there's really not, right? But vocally, this may be hard for some people to listen to. And some
Absolutely.
people are going to love it. Some people are going to absolutely love it. It's all your thing. But the last three tracks kind of brought it all home, you know, on that
Hmm.
album, which I thought was really really cool. Because what happened was is I ended up listening to it in two different intervals, where I took in 2/3 of the album and then I finished the last of the album. And I just remember, okay, the first, this is a pretty rocking album, man. I dig it. I can't find anything, negative I want to say about it aside from the fact that there's something off about this dude's vocals that I just can't put my fucking finger on, you know.
Hmm.
Um, riffs were killer Southern style riffs. But um, I may have to go back and listen to this and give it, just another good listen to. I think I'm going to give it a fair assessment. And it's funny, and I laughed when you said this because, you know, this is by no means a bad album. And I think you think the same thing about the album I gave you. It's by no
Yeah.
means a bad album, you know, but vocals have a big impact on how people receive an album. You
Yes.
see what I'm saying? You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? So, with that being said, I would just like to state that, this is a good freaking album. If you get the chance, they only put one album out. Go out there on YouTube, check this thing out. It's worth a listen. Maybe the vocals ain't there for you. Maybe there's something else ain't there for you. Maybe you like the vocals, you don't like the bass work. I don't know. But I can tell you what I think. This is a good metal southern rock style album. Uh, there's some man, there's so much influence in there. I hear Skinnerd, I hear Black Label Society style stuff,
Yeah.
man. There's just good stuff there, dude. So if you get the chance, man, definitely check this album out. But I'm gonna have to definitely give it my review, and my review is actually pretty on point with his, 7.75. There's not anything there more for me to check out.
Yeah.
If there was more for me to check out, maybe I'd give it an 8 or anything like that. But there's nothing more for me to check out from these guys as far as
Right.
this band goes. And
Yep.
it's a bit of a bummer because there's some really good stuff going on there, and I'd like to see, maybe where they take that vocal work on the next album.
Yeah.
So
Yep. I will add this. I first seen these guys and I was thinking about it. I can't remember if they opened up for
I think you said the
Nashville
story.
Pussy.
Nashville Pussy and the
Yeah,
Sword.
it's Sword. They were on the same bill as the Sword, Nashville Pussy, and them. Or they could have opened up for Mastodon. I just don't remember.
Okay.
I might be getting those shows mixed up. Uh, but I fell in love with their live show.
I heard their live show was pretty good.
Oh, dude, it was amazing.
Yeah, I've heard
Um,
their live. I looked up did a little research after I checked out the album, and I heard that their live shows were pretty good. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
read through the comments and stuff where people had went and seen them live, and they said that they were great. I don't know what happened there that they're no longer together.
yeah. I don't know. I think they were together like 5 years or something like that, and that was it. Um, here's what the vocals. Here's where I can best put the vocals. It was a weird mix, and I can kind of see the Jesse James Dupree comparison.
Yeah,
I would say it's almost like a ragged, worn out Brian Johnson
and I
or a
got that.
Tom Kiefer.
And I got that feel too. I can't say Kiefer because Kiefer's a little more higher pitched. This guy's got a little more baritone in his shit, dude.
Yeah, it's in that it's in that wheelhouse.
Right.
And typically I wouldn't like this style of vocal. But for me, like the riffs, the music, everything else makes the vocals a little easier for me. And the vocals are they're they're different than the Cookie Monster stuff. I'm not saying it's better, it's just different. It's easier for me to
Take it.
okay, I can handle that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I think we're both right. I think we're both like that 7.75, 7.8. There's nothing wrong with this album. It's just a personal taste thing.
Yeah. And keep in mind that's out of 10, right?
Yeah.
It's not like we're handing this album a 2 or a 3. I mean,
Yeah.
we're telling you, take the time to go listen to it.
Oh, for sure.
It may be your next favorite album. It may be something that you don't care for. Maybe something that you sit there and go, you know what, that was a good listen to. Maybe I'll pop that on every once in a while. At the end of the day, these are just our opinions, right? We're not pros. We just listen to a lot of music. And I think we've got being from the generation that we come from, we've been blessed to have a lot of years of seeing a lot of music come and go,
And we know what good stuff is.
Not always.
The rest of you jabronis, you don't know nothing.
Come on now. Even I don't know what good stuff is apparently to you because that Great Cat album did not serve you well.
Listen, I play that Great Cat album in the office, and this dude come around the corner and he says, "What the fuck is that cat doing?" Like he thought it was a dead, drowning cat or something.
Yeah.
He's like, "What the hell is that?"
Did he
So,
really?
yeah, it was bad. It was hysterical. Hysterical.
Did you tell him why you was playing it?
Yes. He's like, "I'm so sorry."
Come on, man. She's a great guitar player, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good time.
Oh man. Hell yeah. So with that being said, we are rounding out, I guess, episode 29, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we're going to call this. We'll discuss that. But
yeah.
Next week's episode, we got 2 big ones coming for you guys. I know that the album's been out for a while. Next week, we are not going to give each other an album for next week. We're rounding out the season. Bruce and I will try to get together and talk about when the next season will begin. I hate seeing a season end on anything or listening to anything and not knowing when the next season's coming out. So we're going to give you guys a hard date by the end of the final
last episode.
Yep.
It was time.
So with that being said, next week we're going to review Metallica's new album, Lux Eterna, correct?
Yes.
That's
72
that's
Cenas. Is
72
it Lux
seasons.
Eterna or 72?
No, it's
Yeah,
you're
hold
right.
on.
It's the single was Lux Eterna, the album 72 seasons.
Yeah. 72 seasons.
Wow, did you pick that up?
Yeah, it was a record store day exclusive.
Really? Did you pick up the album?
No.
Really?
Dude, I spent a lot of money on other stuff.
But you didn't buy that album.
I did not buy that
You
out.
walked out with the bag, but didn't buy the album.
It was
You
free.
are a chode, sir.
It was free.
Only you.
Listen, it could have been a Taylor Swift bag, and I probably would have like, hey, it's free. I could use it.
Oh my God. All right, man. So next week we're going to be reviewing Metallica 72 seasons. And then the following week, we are going to be doing we're going to let it run. We're going to be bringing some guys on, and we are going to be doing the Black Sabbath singer discussion. We look forward to bringing that to you guys, getting everybody on board with that. We've done a lot of hard work to try to get that set up. And we're going to be testing it out that Monday to make sure that everything can come up. If it can't, I don't foresee it not. But if it can't, we'll figure something out. But I don't foresee it being an issue. With that being said, Bruce, as always, it's been a blast.
And I'll make sure we get it up.
And please remember to like, comment, subscribe down below.
Yes, sir.
And check us out on Spotify. All the episodes will be uploaded. I think we're only missing a few before the end of the season, so I'll have them uploaded at the end of the season. And we will look forward to seeing you guys next time around. And we look forward to bringing you another season of great album reviews.
And possibly interviews.
Hopefully interviews. I've got somebody on my friends list that if there was a way that I could message them, I'd love to absolutely have them on the show just for kicks. Just to say hi, catch up with them, and see how things have been. Sean Yesel from White Zombie.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be a heck of a first, second, or third interview.
Yeah.
So
make it happen.
We'll see, dude. I don't know how to do it.
Just a phone call.
I got to get Adam from Nerd Table on this for us, because that dude's got everybody on his new album.
There you go.
No, I'm dead serious. Like, dude, he's worked with members of Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Butthole Surfers. Dude, they're all on the album, dude.
Oh, I would love to interview. I would love to talk with Mike McCready. I would love to talk with Mike McCready.
Well, dude, he's also good friends with the guys from the Melvins. They went and recorded an album out with the Melvins and stuff, dude. So I'll tell you, it's crazy how Adam has managed to intertwine and get people on his stuff. And I love the Nerd Table guys; they're good friends of mine. You got to see them live, and I think when you came to me, you said, "I absolutely love these guys. They're such high energy and they're so freaking cool." Yeah,
Terry Schiavo.
Sit
out tonight.
But dude, they're still doing their thing. They are still doing their thing. But Adam gets crazy people on their albums, dude. He had Ron Jeremy, of all people, on their album. I swear my hand to God, dude. Amazing. Yeah. Listen, he even, like, I don't remember the actress's name, but I know that he's worked with the mom from Alf.
What?
Dead ass, dude. Dead ass fucking serious, dude.
Okay, that takes the award for most random fucking guest appearance. The mom from Alf.
Listen, I am not kidding. Just when you get settled in tonight and you're going through your phone on Facebook or whatever, look up Adam Casto or Nerd Table.
Yeah.
And you'll see they've got a sticker or a picture of all the bands that appear or members from bands that appear on this new album or have worked with Nerd Table. And it's like,
Yeah. That's
fucking
pretty
crazy,
cool.
dude. And I talked to Adam the other day about it, and he told me, I said, listen, how do you do that, dude? He goes, I just bug them. Some of them end up blocking me, and then some of them say, okay, man, I'll go ahead and do something for you.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And he builds relationships with them, dude. He actually builds relationships.
Yeah.
With them. It's hilarious. I mean, it's not hilarious. I mean, it's a big thing for him, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what
but
it's
it's
about.
hilarious to me that he's able to, you know, he's put himself out there like that and done that, because I've known Adam for many numbers of years. He's a bit of an outgoing guy, but I'll tell you what, dude, could you imagine doing an album and having your heroes on that album with you, helping to create that album with you? That's a hell of a thing, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Be a
Sorry,
good time.
am I yapping too much?
No.
Yeah.
My battery's about to die.
It's all good. I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Once again, like, comment, subscribe down below. Listen to us on Spotify. Thank you for tuning in. This was Hooked on Sonics. I'm Bruce. That's Tony. I'm Tony. And
Live and in color.
Have a good night, guys.
See you guys.